Welcome to Classic Value Investors and Microcap Explosions. This is Mariusz Konieczny. In this video, I'm going to tell you why the blockage of Suez Canal is causing the tanker rates to go up. But before I do that, let me just quickly tell you, in the prior video, I showed you the difference between the crude tanker and product tanker. And what I said is that if this is the crude production, the crude tanker is a ship that takes the crude from the production to the refinery, and then a product tanker is a ship that takes the product, such as gasoline or jet fuel, from the refinery to the consumer. Now, when talking about the rates, we have to understand the difference between the supply of tankers, and I'm going to talk about the crude tankers only, but it's the same for the product tankers. So if we have a lot of supply of tankers and very little crude production, then the rates are going to be low because more ships are going to fight over the crude production that's available. And if there's a lot of ships for very little crude production, rates are going to be low. However, if there is a lot of crude production and very little ships available, because this one is already carrying crude, if there's very little ships available for the production, then the rates are going to be high. But now it's a little bit more complicated than that, because if, let's say, the ships that are carrying crude are traveling very slow to the refineries, then the supply of them available empty for the carriage of crude is limited. If the ships carrying the crude are traveling very fast, then they're going to be emptied out, and there's going to be more availability of the empty ones competing for the crude production. Now, the reason why the blockage of Suez Canal is bullish for at least in the short term, for the tanker rates, is because the existing crude tankers that are traveling are blocked at the canal, and therefore there's fewer of them available that are empty to carry the production. Also, because if they travel from Asia to Europe and they usually go through the canal, that's a shorter distance. But now if the canal is blocked, then they have to go around Africa, which increases the distance that they have to travel, meaning that more of them stay full carrying crude, and then they stay underwater, and fewer of them are available for the transportation of new production. So it's all about supply and demand, but it's not as easy as you would think. How many ships are out there versus how much is the production? It's a little bit more complicated. There's more factors than just the number of ships, because the ships can travel faster or slower, or they have to go shorter or longer distance. And in the case of the Suez blockage, now they have to travel around Africa, which increases the ton miles, and this is why the blockage is positive for the tanker rates.